exact spot today, but I did it inside instead because it snowed last night and I thought it would be too cold and wet. But it's actually a gorgeous day. We're like inside and above a cloud, and it's sunny and it's kind of snowy and really crazy, but it's beautiful. We enjoyed a hike to get up here. Regardless, enjoy this class. Do it in the fresh air if you can, because the element we are talking about is air. We'll begin in an easy seated pose with one leg crossed in front or soles of feet touching in the center. Close your eyes here and just take a minute to notice breath entering and leaving your body. Where do you inhale and exhale from? Does it feel cold or warm? Do you breathe only in your chest? Or does it descend down into your belly or reach high by your shoulders and neck? This air class will be focused on a bit of breath work for the first couple minutes. Then we'll move into expansion of the side body and heart. Then we'll actually create some lift and catch some air with some inversions. So throughout this practice, I want you to keep the qualities of the element air on your mind. Air is lightness, expansiveness, freedom, openness, movement of prana and energy. Let's move into a breathing technique called box breathing, square breathing, or Samavriti pranayama. You will spend the same amount of time in each of the following phases. Inhale, retention at the top of your inhale. Exhale, then retention at the bottom of your exhale. Place your hands in your lap with palms facing up and roll your shoulder blades down your back as you create a tall spine. Release your jaw. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds as you picture a line moving up a square on the left side. Hold for 4 seconds as you picture that line traveling over to the right. Exhale through your nose for 4 as the line goes down the right side of the square. And hold for 4 as the line moves across the bottom of the square towards the left. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale up. Hold right. Exhale down. Hold left. One more round on your own. Let your breath fill your upper chest, your middle chest and ribs, and your belly. Now place your hands on your knees and we'll move into seated cat-cow. Inhale to arch through your spine, pull your hands back into your knees and expand through your chest. Exhale to round through your spine and tuck chin to chest. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, pull your heart through your shoulders. Exhale, round and tuck your tailbone under. Now move into circular shapes here. Let your belly button poke forward, over to the right. Suck it back and inward towards your spine, then over to your left. One more here. Then switch directions. Create 2 nice big slow circles towards the other side. We'll move towards some side body expansion. Sprinkle your left fingertips out to the side and inhale to sweep your right hand up and over towards the left. Exhale, move through center, and then inhale to reach the right hand out to the side and left arm up and over. Exhale, back to middle. Move with your breath here. Inhale over to the right and create some length through both sides of your torso. Think about moving up and over. Exhale to center. Inhale to stretch to the right and send breath between each rib space. And back to center. One more on each side with your breath. Roll onto your stomach. Widen your hands to the outer corners of the mat and spider onto your fingertips. Root the tops of your toes and your pubic bone into the mat. Roll your inner thighs up to the sky and squeeze them together. Lengthen your tailbone and pull pubic bone to sternum. Inhale, draw your navel in towards your spine and push through your fingertips to raise your torso up. Fill your entire upper and mid-chest with air with breath as it floats upwards and you unravel your spine. Head lifts last. Exhale and pull your shoulder blades back and down as the back of your heart magnetizes forwards. Inhale, create a bit more lift while avoiding compression in your lower spine by relaxing your glutes. And exhale to melt your body back down to the mat. Rest your forehead down for a breath. We'll move into Cobra pose again. Push your feet into the mat and lengthen your tailbone down as you push through your fingers and lift your heart high towards the sky. Exhale to relax the shoulders down. Inhale to pull fingers back towards hip points and open up more. Exhale to release the hands and use your own back muscles to keep you lifted as high as you can. Stay for a breath, engaging the muscles on your low, mid, and upper back as the crown of your head reaches forwards and up. Walk your left hand out a handprint and your right hand back slightly. Roll a little onto the outer left hip as you breathe into your left side body and let the side ribs drop heavy towards the mat. Stay for a breath. Switch sides, step your right hand forwards and left hand back. Shift onto the outer right hip and let the side of your body sink down and expand. Breathe here. Now lower gently back down. Tuck your toes and send your hips back for an active child's pose. Exhale and come through a rounded cat spine as you shift your weight forwards over your palms. And inhale to cow pose, dropping the belly and broadening through your collarbones. Find your way to a neutral tabletop. Now walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Keep your hips exactly where they are and move your gaze over your right shoulder to the back of the mat. Feel your ribs gently cracking open. Stay for a breath. Walk your hands over to the left side of the mat, look over your left shoulder and create an arc through your right side body. And breathe. Move back to center into tabletop, then sink your hips back to an active child's pose again. Inhale to shift forwards with a cow spine and lifted chest. Exhale to round through the spine and send the hips back to the heels. Inhale and come forwards as you straighten your legs into an upward facing dog with knees hovering. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. Inhale to magnetize your heart to the sky. Exhale as you push through your palms, lift your hips up to plank pose, but continue to round through your upper spine into a high plank. Separate your shoulder blades as wide as you can. Inhale, drop into floating dog again. Rotate your inner thighs to the sky. Exhale, rounded high plank. Firm your inner forearms toward each other and draw navel to spine. One more with your breath. Inhale to floating dog. Exhale, rounded high plank. Inhale, floating upward dog with knees lifted. Root strong through the ball of your right foot and pick your left foot up as you point your toes. Contract your pelvic floor and core to protect your back. Now push through palms as your left toes reach super high to the sky and hips shift back into three-legged downward facing dog. Stay for an inhale as you neutralize your hips to face the mat. Exhale, tiger curl. Shift forward into plank and pull knee to nose. Inhale to separate your shoulder blades to round through your spine and create more space. Exhale to plant your left foot down between your hands, low lunge. Walk your hands up to your knee. Energetically pull your left hip back and right hip forward and draw navel to spine. Engage your hamstring to pull right heel into glute and twist the body open as your left hand reaches back to capture the right foot or ankle. Inhale to lengthen the crown of your head high. Exhale to twist deeper. Release your right foot, plant through both palms, and send your hips back to down dog. Shift forward to plank, then lower your hips and knees to hover off the ground for floating dog. Stabilize through the ball of your left foot and point your right toes backwards. Remain in this pose as you pull everything in towards your spine and pull your chest through your shoulders. Three-legged dog, right toes reach up to the sky. Roll your right hip down and stretch through the back of your left leg. Exhale, tiger curl, right knee to forehead. Push through your palms hard to create lift through your mid-back. Step your right leg forward to low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Bring your hands up to your knee and pluck your left foot off the mat by engaging your hamstring. Twist the torso open to the right as you collect your left foot. Crown of the head lifts on an inhale. Hips sink lower on an exhale. Gently come out of this twist, weight into both hands, and step your left foot forward to a fold. Bend deeply into your knees, and even place your belly on your thighs if that's comfortable. Hold on to opposite elbows. Let your shoulders hang heavy, let your neck relax. Sway side to side like a gentle breeze here. 3 big breaths. Inhale in through your nose, exhale audibly through your mouth. Clear any stagnant energy. One more. Then undo the clasp of your elbows and airplane your arms out and up to come to upward salute. Root through your right foot and bend your right knee as you pick your left leg up and plant those toes behind your right leg to the right side of your mat. Clasp your left wrist with right hand and side bend over to the right. Feel a nice stretch through your left lats, obliques, and outer glutes. Then stand into your right leg and pick your left knee up towards the sky now as you sweep your arms straight out to either side. Plant just your left toes far out to the left as you hold onto your right wrist and crack open the right side of your body. Both legs are straight here. Standing gate pose variation. Inhale and exhale here. Let's do this sequence one more time. Bend into your right knee and hip, slide those left toes to the right outside of your space, and grab onto left wrist as you breathe deeply into the left side ribs. Lift out of this by standing through your right leg. Raise your left knee to the clouds and open your arms wide. Rest your left toes out to the left, both legs straight. Pull open through the right arm. Switch to the other side now. Bend into left leg, place right toes behind and to the outside of that leg. Hold onto your right wrist with your left hand. Let the space between each rib separate. Stand strong through your left foot as you pick your right knee upwards and sweep your arms open. Step your right leg straight out to the right at an angle and gently pull on your left wrist to breathe through your left side. One more time. Pay attention to the quality of your breath. Let it find its way throughout each and every part of your body, even in new poses. So bend into your left knee and stretch your right leg to the outside of your left leg. Big side bend. Root through your left foot and pick up your right knee as your arms open wide, inviting space and breath. Just your right toes touch outwards to the right and open into the left side body. Release everything, stand in your Tadasana, and take one centering breath. Inhale to sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, straight spine. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to plank pose. Then shift your hips back to down dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg high into three-legged dog, but then let it find some free movements. Bend your knee and open your hip, create hip circles, bring that leg all the way forward behind your left wrist. Just pretend you have a paintbrush between your toes and are painting the sky, the horizon, the ground, everywhere. Keep going. Now step forward to high lunge, balancing on the ball of your right foot, hugging thighs in together, bending slightly into your back left leg or back right leg if you need to keep your lower spine protected. Interlace your hands behind you in this crescent lunge. Weight them downwards as your heart scoops upwards. Plant both hands at the top of your space and step right leg up into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold deeply. Step through plank and then downward facing dog. Inhale to sweep your right leg high. Find your free movements here. Find lift and creativity. Watercolor a scene or a name. Then step forward to crescent lunge. Energetically pull your right hip back and left hip forward. Interlace your fingers with the opposite grip behind your sacrum. Let your shoulder blades slide down underneath and lift your lungs high. Now forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, lift to a straight spine. Exhale, release. Step back through plank, then down dog. Inhale, raise your left leg and find 3 breaths of flow here. Moving your left knee, foot, and toes how they want to. Now plant strong through your right arm and straight right leg as you flip your left toes behind your right hip for a wild thing. Lift through your chest and pelvis, left arm sweeps overhead. Big breath. Come into a side plank. Still supported through your right side, but stack your left leg on top of right and magnetize your left hip bone high to the sky. Create a rainbow shape, letting your left fingertips almost skim the ground. Find your quality breath and send it into your left kidneys, obliques, outer shoulder. Come to plank and step forward into a deep fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let it drop. Again, step through plank to down dog and reach your right heel super high. Find lift and lightness. Create shapes with your leg and paint a picture. Right toes reach to the left outside of the mat and plant for wild thing. Left leg and right arm reach long. Create buoyancy in your heart, letting it rise up like a balloon filled with air. Shift into a side plank, stacking right leg on top of left and lifting through your right hip as those fingertips extend towards the earth. Through neutral plank, step forward to the top of your mat. Inhale to a straight spine, fingertips grazing the ground or resting on your shins. Exhale, let your arms hang heavy and your spine round. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, three-legged dog with left leg, rolling left hip down and staying neutral through your hips. Exhale to step your left leg forward and plant it between your hands. Inhale up to airplane pose, steadying through your left leg with a micro bend in that knee and lifting your right leg up parallel to the mat. Arms outstretched to the sides with a long line of energy extending between fingertips. Find your balance, focus on a drishti point. Then exhale to bring your hands into center as you bend deeply into your left knee and curl your right knee towards your body. Inhale to expand again into airplane. Exhale to flex and curl inwards. Inhale, find some lift. Exhale into this mini one-legged squat shape. Inhale your wings out to the side as you straighten your left knee. Then we'll start to move towards taking some handstand hops. Place both hands on the mat, at least a foot in front of your left foot. Bend slightly into your left knee. Push off your left toes. Kick your right leg high and shift your weight forward, so shoulders align over palms. Take 4 to 5 hops on your own time, getting back if you fall out of it. Catch some hang time if you can, straightening both legs overhead. And come to land on your left leg. From here, step both legs to the back of the mat for downward dog. Inhale, three-legged dog with the right leg straight. Exhale, plant right foot between hands. Inhale, rise to airplane. And stay here to gather your balance. Exhale to bend into right knee, bring your hands into center and tuck your left leg into your body. Inhale, expand, lift the upper back and straighten out. Exhale, curl left knee to forehead. One more with your breath. Open and close. Find your airplane once more. Then plant your hands in front of your right foot. You can hop backwards if you need a little bit. Create a wide base of support through your fingers. Rotate your elbow pits forward and hug your forearms in for support. Bend into your right knee, kick off the ball of that foot, and raise your left leg high for handstand hops. Take as much time or as many rounds here as you're comfortable with. Float both legs high if able. Gently land, then take a rest by sending your hips back into child's pose for a few breaths. Come into one final pose before cooling down. Crow pose, because we have to fly like a bird in our air class. Create that same solid shape in the hands as before, screwing your fingertips outwards as if tightening a jar. Nestle your knees behind your triceps, inching them up as high as possible. Come onto your tippy toes and start to shift more weight into your hands than your feet until you're able to lift one foot, the other foot, and then possibly both at the same time. Get your balance first, gaze in front of you by a few inches. Now create some lift by pushing harder through your hands, spreading your shoulder blades apart, and tucking your heels up and in towards your glutes. Stay for 3 breaths. Hold strong, push even harder. Lift a little higher. Nice. Now release back down. Lower your knees and stack your hips above them. Stretch your arms long in front of you and lower your chest down to the mat for puppy pose. Bend into your elbows, gather your hands together, and touch your thumbs to the back of your neck. Let the feeling of being physically high and expansive start to settle. And take a look inwards as you start to slow. Where can you take these qualities of air and use them in your life? Where in your relationships or personal endeavors do you need to feel a bit more lightness, more weightlessness? Now focus on the quality of your breath again. Where in your life do you need a little more room to breathe? Where can this healing energy find its way through intention and focus and openness? Scoot forwards and lower your whole body onto the mat. Prop your elbows up and pull your heart through your shoulders as you relax the glutes for Sphinx pose. Take a few final expanding breaths here. Keep the quality. Let's roll onto our backs. We'll come into shoulder stand. Bend your knees into your chest, push your palms face down into the ground, and lift your hips up high. Straighten your legs to find the ultimate height you can, pointing through your toes and tucking your hips more forward than you think you should. Now start to find those freedom movements in your legs again. Create a bicycle motion or kick them out to the side, or just play. Whatever you're inspired by. Good, now slowly lower out of shoulder stand, just how you got in. and place your spine on the mat. We'll come into our final resting Shavasana pose. Legs stretch out to opposite corners of your mat, and arms rest down by your sides. Relax your brow. Relax your jaw. Relax your glutes. Splay everything open. Feel like you're being aired out here. Cleared. Literally feel your breath reaching every inch of your body, bringing with it a new sense of freedom and weightlessness and ease. Start to wiggle into your fingers and toes. Roll onto your side. And then come to a seated position at the top of your mat. We'll take one more big breath in together. Hands on knees. Inhale, puff your chest out. Lift your head high. Exhale, drop and release everything. Round through your spine. Thank you so much for joining me in this air-inspired flow class. I hope it gave you an inspiration to be a little more airy, more light and free, more expansive and open. I hope it gave you a chance to focus on your breath work a little bit and have some fun catching some air. So I'm so happy you joined me here today. I'll see you next time. Namaste.